Welcome to the Bedford Academy video for transition. I am Missy, the SEND overseeing transition and Key Stage 3. We are very much looking forward to meeting you both on your transition day and when you start here in Year 7. The aim of this presentation is to share with you some of the key information about the school, the overview of the SEND provision, and what transition will look like when you come to Bedford Academy. To start with, the visions and values at BA focus around being community-minded through drive and aspiration. The key features are underpinned through the BA Way. This is displayed in every classroom around the school and is regularly referred to. It covers such points as attendance, lessons, conduct in lessons, uniform, your rights and responsibilities as a student, and the environment. It's important to us that every student aspires to achieve and that all staff know their students and the best way to help them achieve. The BA core offer represents our collaborative perspective on high quality teaching for all our students. So communication to parents from Bedford Academy is sent via Bromcom through an app called My Child at School. All details regarding this will be given to you from the head of year when your child starts at Bedford Academy. Parents have access to the child's attendance. They have their lessons on the app and also any behaviour or praise points the child is awarded. We also use Microsoft Teams within school to set homework. This is one of a number of platforms that homework will be set on. These platforms will be explained to your child in Year 7 when they start, and they will have access to all the passports and everything they need to be able to access their homework. If at any time there are any issues with your child being able to access the platforms, if you speak to the head of year, they will be able to sort this out for you. Mobile phones are yondered at the start of the school day and unyondered at the end of the school day. Each student will be issued with a pouch to which they will keep their mobile phone with them during the school day. If for any reason the student does need to contact home or has any problems, they can come down to reception where one of our reception staff will be able to help them. So the school actually starts at 8:40 where all students will be registered in their tutor groups. Students can enter the building from 08:30 and are expected to be in their form and ready to learn at 8:40. You can see from the timings of our school day, we have 5 periods. Both the break and lunches are staggered, although Year 7s will have their break and lunch on their own. Year 12s actually have their break and lunch in our new community buildings, so it gives chance for Year 7s to get settled and adapt to the environment in a secondary school. Attendance is extremely important and is linked to achievement. Calls are made if a student is absent to help build good relationships, but also to offer support if needed. So on the first day when a child is absent, a tutor will call home. The second day it will be assistant head of year or head of year. And the third day will be a member of SLT. When it comes to identifying students who may have a SEND need, we work closely with a number of agencies. We work closely with the primary schools. So initially, the majority of our information will come from primary schools during transition. Both myself and a number of other staff involved in transition will be in regular contact with the primary schools from probably around April to collate any information they feel may be relevant. Once a student is at Bedford Academy, we receive referrals from teaching staff who may have concerns about reading age, spelling or writing. Pastoral teams also may raise concerns. Outside agencies also work closely with us and can inform us of any concerns they have regarding students. And 4 times a year, the students will sit assessments in each of their topics. This is what we refer to as AP data. If a teacher then sees that a student is underperforming consistently in their lesson, they may well flag their concerns to us as well. From that, we will then carry out process testing, look at their levels. If necessary, we will either then put the student into the interventions that we feel will help them and be most beneficial to them, or we can involve outside agencies such as educational psychologists to get a clearer overview of what is happening. So we share this information with teaching staff and parents via the one-page passport on provision map. This shares strategies that may help individual students and makes teachers aware of the individual needs of the students. We also work in close partnership with parents and carers, involving them in the provision map process, and offer regular opportunities to share their reviews. We actively engage with the students to share their views and what works best for them, and this obviously helps formulate their passport, and the more information we can give the teaching staff, the more it can help the teacher help to support the student in their lesson. So I spoke briefly about the interventions and the provisions that we have in place. So once a need has been identified, we would carry out process testing or involve outside agencies. Obviously on the slide you can see here are a number of the provisions and interventions that we offer. Literacy, we use the Lexia and Lexonic programme, which has proved highly efficient, and the student will only move up to the next level once they have successfully passed the level they're on. We have found this very beneficial, especially with reading ages. We have numeracy intervention, handwriting, spelling, touch typing, especially if a student is found to need perhaps the use of a laptop in class or for extended writing, then for them to be able to learn to touch type will be invaluable for them, especially when we look towards GCSEs. A more recent addition that we have just started is Lego therapy, which we have found has been really helpful with some students who struggle with their social skills, and that's an area that we are still growing on. We have speech and language and ELSA, which is a provision that helps students if they are perhaps struggling emotionally or having problems with friendship, and that's a 6-week programme. And we also run AQA Unit Awards, where the students will work in Access in a small group with either an Access lead or a learning support assistant, and they can pass units at that level and build a portfolio and a folder containing all the certificates of the units that they have passed. We also have a cubby in the Access area. This is available to any student to use. It's an immersive space where students can have time out to regulate, and sometimes if they are feeling quite deregulated, it may be sometimes after unstructured time such as break and lunch, they find it helpful to come and have some downtime just before they can reset themselves then to go back to lesson. They can pick the music, the lighting and what they decide to watch on screen, and it has proved hugely successful with quite a number of our students. So staff are supported to meet the needs of SEND. Teachers receive a comprehensive programme of CPD. They have strategies to help them identify early interventions that may be needed for students. The LSAs provide support in lessons. We don't offer a Velcro support. The LSA would be in the lesson perhaps for a number of students, and they will circulate throughout the class. This also helps the class teacher to be able to work with any student who may have SEND needs as well. So teaching staff encompass an inclusive culture which values quality first teaching, and our LSAs also run small group sessions. A lot of them are trained with the interventions that they run. These tend to run during tutor time, although some of them do actually run during some lesson. So this year, the main focus for our training is to embed early identification strategies and ensure all students have access to high quality adaptive teaching via scaffolding and modelling, and use of such things as dual coding and task lists. So moving on to transition. Our key transition events, we have the whole school transition evening, a blazer fitting evening and meet the tutor. We then offer 2 new beginning sessions which are after school, where students come and they will take part in an activity in one particular faculty in Bedford Academy. We then have 1 transition day in July, and on the first day in September when Year 7 start, there will only be Year 7 and Year 12 actually in school on that day. So it gives Year 7s a chance to adjust and get used to their surroundings just within their year group before the rest of the school come back in on the second day. For SEND, we do offer enhanced transition. We work closely with all our primary schools to identify any students who feel they may need extra transition sessions to settle them ready for the September start at Bedford Academy. So after May half term, we will offer a number of sessions. It does vary between 4 and 6, and we have a number of activities a student tends to do. It can vary from having a tour of the building. We tend to do treasure hunts. This year we're introducing a mindfulness session so the student can learn some coping mechanisms to enable them to manage the transition more smoothly from Year 6 to Year 7. This is also very helpful for us because we can glean some information ready about these students for their pupil passport in September. So as soon as they start with us in September, we can give valuable information to the teaching staff. So we have everything in place. For example, if the students need a pass to leave the classroom for 2 minutes to regulate, we can have that all in place ready for September, so any potential issues hopefully will be sorted before the start of term. And I attend, where I can, annual EHCP review meetings, co-production meetings, and any other meetings that are going on in Year 6. So when the student comes to us in Year 7, I am already quite aware of the key ways we can support that student. So on the next slide, I just have a number of key staff involved in transition. This year, we actually have a dedicated team going forward who will oversee transition. There's myself, Miss Seed. Miss Sharp is the inclusion manager and works very closely in Access. She also oversees a lot of the AQA award units, so some students may be working with her. Miss Coral Reeves does all our admin and is present in our EHCP reviews. She also works very closely with the students to glean information to help put towards their pupil passport. We have Mrs. Grady, who will be the head of Year 7. Miss Venamore is the assistant head. Mr. Parrott is the SLT link for Year 7. And Miss Fordham is very much involved in coming out with me to visit the primary schools and get as much information as we can to make sure the transition is as smooth as possible from Year 6 to Year 7. If you have any further information regarding anything on the PowerPoint or anything else you'd like to ask, I have included 2 main key contacts on the contact information. Anything generally relating to transitioning to Year 7 would be directed to the head of year, Miss Grady, and any specific questions relating to SEND, then you can contact myself and my email is on the slide. Thank you very much for listening, and we look forward to welcoming you to Bedford Academy in September.